The New York Knicks, they are still alive after facing elimination. They delivered a statement win at the Garden on Thursday night, taking down the Indiana Pacers 111-94 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And with Game 6 coming up on Saturday night in Naptown, the Knicks, they're now going to look to push this series to a decisive Game 7 back at Madison Square Garden. So joining me to break it all down is the founder and host of Knicks Fan TV, my guy CP the Fanchise. Joins me now. CP, what's going on, man?
Dex, orange and blue skies out here, man. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. You got the orange and blue fit on, I see. Not as quite as extravagant as Spike was rocking last night, sidelines. But I see you out here with the orange and blue, and it was a good Thursday night, good Game 5 for the Knicks and their fans. And you know the CP, the Knicks, they faced elimination. They responded with a strong performance at home. So in your eyes, what stood out to you the most about the team's mindset and their approach in Game 5?
Yeah, a couple of things, Dexter. Number one, 48 minutes of basketball. This was a wire-to-wire New York Knicks victory. And in several of these games, and starting out, especially in the first quarter, just starting out slow against Indiana's high-octane offense, it was good to see the Knicks lead with their defense. Good ball pressure, good intensity, forcing the ball out of Tyrese Halliburton's hands, and then limiting the Pacers to just one possession and limiting those second chance opportunities. So I thought the Knicks rebounded the ball very well, and overall their defensive intensity and rotations were crisp in that Game 5 victory. So it has to start on the defensive end, but great job by their big two and Jalen Brunson and karl-Anthony Towns leading the way offensively. I believe 56 points between them.
Yeah, you have to like what you saw from them offensively. We'll get to that in a second because the All-Stars, the All-NBA players, I should say, for the Knicks, they really stepped up. And then defensively, you've been looking to see if they can get this done and do it on that end. Really haven't seen that for a complete game here. So I want to talk about the defense here, CP, because it was outstanding. They held the Pacers to under 100 points for the first time this postseason. They held Tyrese Halliburton, kept him in check to just 8 points in this game. How was it about Tom Thibodeau's scheme, and how did his scheme and the play of guys like Landry Shamet, who I thought was big in this one, how did that contribute to shutting down Indy's offense?
To me, it's effort, man. And especially when you look at Landry Shamet just closing off airspace, not giving these guys any room to breathe. Someone who could actually guard a TJ McConnell. And he had a signature play there against TJ McConnell by denying the drive on the baseline and then slapping the ball off of his knee. The Garden crowd erupted because they loved that blue collar intensity on the defensive end. So Landry Shamet was just absolutely sensational. Great job by Delon Wright, jumping the passing lane, something that he's known to do. Anticipation skills, like these little things, Dexter, can help slow down this high-octane Pacer offense and also limit those possessions. So that is where the Knicks defense has to be strong, but it did start with the head of the snake. Their defense against Tyrese Halliburton, who only took 7 shots in Game 5, was key. Mikal Bridges was a lot better. You saw sometimes that he was picking up Tyrese Halliburton from 94 feet. OG Anunoby drew some of the Halliburton assignment a lot more, and I expect that to happen more in Game 6 because you really don't want him to get off to a good start in a must-win Game 6 there. But overall, their team defense was very good. And Mitchell Robinson, I forgot to mention the block nest monster. He was stellar, including a stellar stretch in that third quarter where he had a block on Tyrese Halliburton, forced the ball out of Miles Turner's hands, and then on the offensive side, got a rebound and a putback for points. So that was a signature Mitchell Robinson moment there in that game.
Yeah, everybody contributed. You're right there about the block nest monster. He looked good in Game 5
Great.
as well. But look, when it comes to these games, CP, you and I have been talking about this all through the playoffs. It comes down to setting the tone, and Jalen Brunson once again set the tone. 32 points for him in Game 5, 24 for Cat, as you mentioned. How important was it for the Knicks All-NBA players to show up here, and is that sustainable heading into Game 6? Or do you look at it like the team needs other players to step up here offensively?
Yeah, well, it just on the Jalen Brunson front, just for 1 second, man. We've almost come to take it for granted when he has these types of games. I mean, I expect this type of excellence from Jalen Brunson, especially when the team's back is against the wall. That is why he's the captain. But when you look at the defense that he's facing, with a physical wing like Aaron Nesmith picking him up 94 feet, being physical with him, trying to bump him off his spots, and Jalen Brunson just being able to step into his offense effortlessly. That is what superstar players are made of, and Jalen Brunson rose to the occasion last night. I also thought the Knicks did a great job of getting him the ball a lot more off-ball action and a lot more off-ball action to allow him for catch and shoot opportunities and to limit the wear and tear against a physical defender like Aaron Nesmith. Karl-Anthony Towns, same way, an efficient 24 points. He was great tonight in game 5, rather, in terms of attacking the basket, which is that's there for the Knicks. When you're facing a guy, whether it's Miles Turner or without, the Knicks had 60 points in the paint in their game 5 victory. That will be there for them. So the two of those guys leading the way is great. However, Dex, it goes back to the defense. Remember, in game 1, these two guys combined for 70 points, and the Knicks still lost because they couldn't close the door defensively. The defense is going to set the tone in game 6, and then Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, they need a bit more offensive punch. Deuce McBride as well off the bench. Those guys are going to have to chip in because what you can expect in game 6 is a much more intense and physical Pacer defense. Maybe they will also get the benefit of the whistle. And so with that, the Knicks supporting cast are going to have to step up and help out as well.
Yeah, going to need them to step up. You can't expect the Pacers to only have one of their starters in double-digit scoring. That was Pascal Siakam in game 5. So you think they'd be a little bit better offensively in game 6. So last thing for me, CP, looking ahead to game 6 in Indiana, what has to carry over from game 5 for the Knicks to force a game 7 back at MSG?
Their defense on Tyrese Halliburton, cut the head off the snake early. Their attention to detail in terms of their transition defense in particular. Watch out for those Pascal Siakams, the Obi Toppin leak outs. The Pacers are great at that, and limit the foolish mistakes. From the foolish fouls by Karl-Anthony Towns to the brutal turnovers, Josh Hart in particular in game 5, they have to limit that because they are going to go up against a team that is leading the NBA in points off of turnovers as well as fast break points. You cannot hand these guys opportunities while they are at home to bury you. So the Knicks have to be disciplined on both sides of the ball and come to play on the defensive end. As I said, and in game 6, you can expect a much more intense Indiana team. I believe they will get the benefit of the whistle because they will put a lot of pressure on the Knicks. And so the Knicks just have to be on guard and be just as aggressive to pull out a win.
All right, they're going to have to pay attention to all the details on Saturday night. What's the vibe, CP? You got a prediction for me? What do you think happens in game 6?
I think Captain Clutch will not let his guys be denied. As long as they stay together defensively, the Knicks can win this game, Dexter. They can win this game, but I keep repeating it defensively is because they just have not had that consistency from a defensive standpoint throughout the regular season all the way into the playoffs. You just don't know what you're going to get. But if they can be sound there, they have more than enough offense to win this game, but they'll have to lock in for 48 minutes because the Pacers are a relentless team, and that is why they're here to this day.
Gonna take a full 48 for sure on Saturday night in Naptown. Knicks game 6, chance to even the series and force a game 7, which would be on Monday. CP thinks they can win this game. We will see if they are able to do that. That is CP the Fanchise. Check him out. Host of Knicks Fan TV. Also, check out their fantastic watch parties that they're having throughout the postseason. You're going to have another one on Saturday. CP, enjoy it. I know you're busy. Try to stay stress-free and enjoy the game 6, okay?
Dax, anytime, man. We'll catch up soon.
All right.